Hiya everyone, I'm Candy Cadaver. Today I'll be telling a story from a few years back over the time I got stalked over my art. This is also a tale about internet safety. I'm pretty sure it's safe to talk about this now, but basically I ended up being stalked by a former commissioner. It started with a couple YCHs like your character here, which is basically like a pre-drawn pose that you pay to have your character drawn into, and they had one. They had bought a couple of these. They had been a frequent customer, which was pretty great. For a while at least. Eventually they wanted custom commission work. Their requests were often a little strange and their characters were often not to my taste. I don't like insulting people's designs as it comes down to personal taste and what you enjoy. It just didn't fit with my style very well. Despite this, though, I still accepted the commission and wanted to do my best for them. If you were wondering why I accepted it, well, I was very new and needed the money. So I started their work. I was still happy to do. However, they started to push boundaries. When you're commissioning an artist, it doesn't automatically make you friends. The person did not understand this. I was young and very new to doing commissions. I was very, very anxious. Combining these things made it difficult for me to stand up for myself. I did try to say the odd thing here and there, but I was entirely ignored and brushed off. I super regret letting it go as far as it did. They heavily pressured me into adding them on Skype. Very stupidly, I did. It was fine at first. They would constantly push me to do calls. I still to this day struggle with calls, although I have greatly improved, but man is it hard even now. Eventually they broke me down. I entered a call and had a panic attack and had to leave. This happened more than once, until I managed to hold it in long enough to get through a call, only to explode 10 times worse after. Started talking about a big project that they wanted to do, that involved lots of art. I was interested in the possibility of more work. Admittedly, my memory in this area is a little fuzzy, so bear with me. I made a sketch. They asked if they could finish it. I said yes, but they'd have to credit me for the sketch, which seemed pretty normal. They posted it claiming they had done it all. I asked to be credited, but they refused. I was upset and removed them from Skype. That's when the war began. They freaked out that I removed them. They sent me all kinds of nasty messages through other social media. Even more alarming, they made gore art of their OC murdering a character that was basically my persona with a vague threat in the description. Why that's a bit scary is a persona is sort of like a representation of who you are. So that was more or less a threat towards me, right? It even had threats in the description. Due to the direct threats in the description, I decided to take it down. It was pretty easy to contact FA, and it was really obvious to them what was wrong, so yeah. They left me another rant about how they are allowed to express their anger and frustration. And yes, to a point, you are. But drawing you murdering my persona, which represent me, and making vague threats in the description is definitely not okay. So I, of course, finally blocked them. But they would make new accounts to continue to harass me. They seemed pretty determined to monitor and bother me. They started just reposting art they commissioned from me, claiming they did it themselves. So here's a lesson in internet safety. One of my personal social media accounts had where I went to school on it. This account was meant for family and people I knew in real life. But stupidly, I did not check the settings. Basically, they could see almost all of my info. They took this info and sent me a threatening email with the address of the school and pictures from Google. I, in an anxiety-fueled panic, called the non-emergency line. They basically were like, "You're a dumb kid. This person is literally in another country and can't hurt you, but be safer online." After this, I had had enough. I once again added them on Skype so we could talk. I was sick of the harassment, them following all my online moves. I wanted them to leave me alone. I tried to talk to them like a civil person one more time. I had a friend mediate and send it on the talk. I laid it all out for them. I basically just wanted to agree for us to leave each other alone. In there, as I was apparently harassing them for getting the art taken down, the art that was removed was either being stolen to be claimed as theirs, or that was threatening art, as I mentioned. It took some time, but I managed to talk them down. They agreed to leave me alone if I left them alone, which I agreed to as long as they didn't repost my art and continued that kind of behavior. After the talk, they appeared to block me on everything and went dead quiet, which was nice, but they did one last thing. They took the art that they had commissioned from me and put it up on Redbubble, which they did not have permission to do. I tried to get Redbubble to take it down, but they did not care. I had evidence that it was mine and they didn't have permission to use it. Still, Redbubble didn't care or do anything at all. But thankfully, that was the last thing they did to my knowledge, and the last time I heard from them. They actually did back off, at least as far as I know, which was a huge relief. It was actually a long time ago, which is why I feel comfortable talking about it now. A lot of this, I admit, was sort of my bad. I didn't clearly state my boundaries, and I should have cut things off way sooner. Still, the behavior was not okay. Actually, Ash remembers a bit about this, so here is her perspective.
Hi, I'm Ash, and Candy asked me to weigh in on this too, since I was partially involved to a much lesser degree. My involvement with this person started when I posted a few YCH auctions on my page. It's always a bit of a gamble when you do this style of auction, since you never know what the winner will look like. Some were my own, and some were meant to be collabs with Candy. I don't remember them interacting too much on my art, but they did get into a couple bidding wars and ended up winning a couple of my auctions. The trouble started as minor and kind of petty on my part. I wasn't a fan of most of their character designs, and the characters they volunteered for the auctions they'd won were either difficult for me to draw or didn't fit the artwork thematically. For reference, think brown-tinged, mismatched, or obnoxiously bright colors and anthro Pokemon. On one piece, they were willing to let me pick from a selection of characters, but they shot down my first pick, and we ended up going with a character I still felt degraded the piece. I finished a few pieces for this person, and went about my life, albeit a bit disappointed that a pose I'd really liked ended up with a piece I didn't overall like because of the character design. I don't remember the time gap clearly, but I do remember Candy coming to me one day on Skype and letting me know she was having issues with this person. She didn't want to get into too many details, but she asked me not to deal with them anymore, so I obliged. Then, she ended up asking me later on to remove the artwork that we did for them. I deleted everything in my gallery associated with that person, untagged them from anything, and removed the files from my computer entirely. I was already uncomfortable with how pushy they were about certain things, but finding out that they were making her uncomfortable was the last straw for me. It's a shame that I don't have that artwork anymore, but at the end of the day, I'd rather not be associated with someone who couldn't understand boundaries and ended up stalking my friend. Good riddance, weirdo.
So I want to take a quick moment to talk about boundaries with artists and commissioners. People need to understand when you commission someone, it's work. It's a job. You are paying someone to produce something for you. It can be friendly, but it's also a professional relationship. You can't automatically assume the artist is now your best friend. Again, at the end of the day, it's work, a job. You wouldn't buy a gourmet pizza and assume the delivery person and you are now best friends. Not that I'm equating pizza to art, but you get the idea, I hope. I'll likely do a video on this topic in the future. So, for some reason, I got fan art. I am beyond honored that anyone will want to draw anything for me. All of these art pieces have a very special place in my heart. I'm pretty blown away that I'm getting fan art. It's sort of like a dream of mine. It all feels very surreal. It's hard not to get emotional looking at them, honestly. So this one here is by Ed is Dead on YouTube. This one is absolutely adorable. Look at those colors. I love how soft it looks. I also really love the expressions of the Furbies. It's just so fun and cute. I really love this one. This one is by Loof Draws Art on YT on YouTube. And wow, I just love the body type here. It's totally on point. So cute and chubby. And the Sailor Moon and Utena. Ah, you're spoiling me. I can't even. And here is one by Agoraphobia_0 on Toy House. I really love the pose and the little wink is so cute. The style is super charming. It just makes me smile. This one here is by Archazoid. Hopefully that's how you say that. Oh, now that style is really unique. I love the exaggerated pointed snoot. I just want to boop it. It looks really fun and flowy. Super exaggerated. I just love how it looks. This one is by Forget_the_sun on Instagram. I really love the style of the face here. The brush used for the shading gives some nice texture too. It's just super cute and look at those eyes. This one is by Fugashark on Twitter. Ah, look at that cute tummy. We love to see it. That style, the pose. Oh, and the background colors, incredible. The expression is cute too. Wow, everyone is just super talented. A huge thank you to everyone that did fan art for me. This leads me to the Discord. Here you can share and promote your art, look for commissions or adoptables, make friends, and more. And yes, you could also be featured in a future video. So just so you guys know, going forward, I am the editor of the videos. I'm not totally sure what I'm doing yet, so please bear with me as I figure things out. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, please subscribe. Yeah, bye-bye.